Hey folks, how you doing today? Let's start this off here. Coming back in same day, same time, you know, doing another episode of The Long Dark. Wasn't quite prepared for this, I guess. I should have loaded my game before I started streaming, but hey, still pretty new at this. Okay. I gotta do a little bit of inventory prep before I head out. Okay. That's pretty much everything I left there. Sports Fest. Just kind of, just waste a little bit of time. Just, not really looking to go outside just yet. All right, I'm gonna do it. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot about that. Let's do that instead. Oh, let's pick that thing up. Nothing in there. It's okay. So I figured out where that cache memento is, and it's up on that ridge that I walked before. So I have to go back up across the bridge to the hunting lodge, take that right going toward the cave, and then down that long trail. It'll be somewhere up in there. It'll be somewhere up there. I just want to find it, just because, you know? I'm not sure what's going to be in it, but whatever it is, it might be pretty good. So I think it's worth it. I think the cougar's going to be coming out in a couple days, so, you know. Make sure that when I go to Mystery, or Pleasant Valley, I take a left outside of that cave instead of the right. Chain these torches on. Yeah, it's getting windier too. Good thing I didn't leave. And the keg would have been brutal right now. Alright, let's speed up a little bit. And there goes my torch. Just in case. Hang out in this cave for a little bit. All right, let's hang out here for just a moment. Let me double check this. There we go. Still pretty cold. Start a bit of a fire here. See if we can wait out this storm. And to not fire. There we go. There we go. Because So now I'm just inside the heat of the cave instead of outside. Let's, how much? Oh, yeah, I got plenty. Let's cook that. And let's place this down. Can I cook anything on here? No. I don't have any water. Okay. No problem. That was less than ideal.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
Try this one more time.
Come on, little fire.
There we go.
Perfect.
16 more minutes on that. One more.
It's so cold. I'm gonna lay down for a bit.
All right. Let's eat some food. I don't have any of that food because I left it all down there. Great. All right. Still pretty chilly. Still very chilly. Remember, there's one wolf right over here before I get to the bridge. There it is. There's the wolf. And no, I am not scared of him. I should have been scared of him, though. I definitely should have been scared of him. All right, so if I was a cache, where would I be? I would be along the back wall here. This is such a stupid move, Pookie. Ah, you're such an idiot. So foolish. Is it up here somewhere? Oh, there it is. Found it. What do I got? 3 cured birch saplings. Uh... Hurry up and run back to the maintenance shed here. I was just talking to myself how I wasn't afraid of that wolf, and I really should have been. All right. Well. Let's eat some of this food. All right. let's take a couple hours nap, and I'm gonna read a book after I wake up. I gotta spend most of the day here recuperating. All right, so I got a little bit of that, and perfect. Let's see, what book can I read? How about a cooking book?
Wonder if I could drop any of this gear.
There we go. All right, I want to cook up some herbal tea. Of course, I don't know if I have any wood, so let's break down some wood. Of course. There we go. Put some water on here. And let's cook some herbals. I'm out of water. Ooh, that scared me. That scared me. 12 minutes on that. 12 and 12. Sweet. Let's pull off the rest of these torches. And let's carefully make our way back without getting electrocuted. New buffer memory. All right, now. What do we have for food? Sleep for 6 hours. I wake up, drink another tea, sleep for another 6 hours. right. Now, a little bit early in the morning. But let's not forget these guys. $69. Nothing in there, but I'm going to open it anyways. All right, let's take a step out, see how warm it is. All right, so it's a nice clear day. Means this should be pretty easy going. I got you. I got you, Wolfie. Your brother got me. I got you. That's right. Now, on the way out, I'm going to be checking to see if I can find any more maple trees, maple saplings. I don't think I will be able to, but I'm going to give it a try. Please, wind, would you not? Okay. I could really use a break right about now. Pretty chilly. Now it's really chilly. Don't believe I have the means to start any fires. As in, I don't have enough fuel. This is usually a safer course down here than up on the railroads. Up on the tracks, I mean. Yep. Cycle through every single one before I got to the one I was looking for. This will be a good spot for a fire right here. Hey Shane, yes, I am playing on Interloper right now. Trying to survive. I think I'm on day 13, maybe day 14. Trying to get up some warmth right now. Treatment didn't do anything, but I did get a lot of heat out of that, so that's good. Alright, let's continue on my trip. Trying to make it out of Broken Railroad back to Mystery Lake right now. Hopefully I can find a maple sapling on the way. Right on, you just started your first Loper run, huh? Nice. Hope you're doing better than I am. I tried a little bit of the Stalker difficulty, but I never really got into it. I just, you know, always played Interloper, and you're right, it's not easy. I probably should go down for a lower difficulty setting, but, you know, I'm too stubborn, I guess. It's stuck here. There we go. All right, I'm going to try to hang left right here. I'm going to go down this trail because there might be a maple sapling down here. And that's really what I'm looking for. I think Yep, wind blew that torch out. Any maple saplings? Oop, there's a wolf right there. It's too windy for... It's too windy for a regular torch, so I gotta use a flare. There's my maple sapling. Just one of them, right? Doing okay. Shane says, doing okay. Just hit a day 30, killed a moose, spent 3 days trying to harvest it before it disappeared. The weather had other plans. Yeah. Yep. The weather is definitely the main competitor in this game. I'm not sure if the animal will despawn in 3 days regardless, but I think if you start harvesting it, it will despawn sooner. And yeah, I'm just going to walk this wolf right out of Broken Railroad. Not even going to pay attention to him. I got to get moving. See you later, Wolfie. I think the most I've had in the Stalker is 109 days, I think it was. It was just over 100 days. So I'm still pretty much a novice at this game. And of course, it's pretty brutal out here right now, too. It's still pretty early in the day. I'm wondering if I should go to that homestead over here. Although, I think the poacher's cabin or whatever the trading car there, I think that's going to be the best place for me to go. There's no fuel though, so pretty sure I'm all out of burnable materials. It's like you have to choose between harvesting your kill or chopping logs to stay warm, and if you don't have coal, you're screwed. Yep, that is absolutely correct. 100%. The coal in the caves, though, that does respawn after a week or two, I think it is. So if you're by a cave, you know, like a transitional cave, I mean, it does give you a little bit of a renewable source of warmth. Nope. Got a couple wolves down there, so definitely not going that way. Yeah, I'm just gonna hightail it through the keg. Try to make my way back to Mystery Lake as soon as possible. I do like the auto walk feature, though. That is nice. Now that I got the maple sapling, I can start curing that for my bow. And there's another wolf by the tracks. I'm probably gonna have to fight him off. I think the wind's died down enough where this will work. Yeah, come on, Wolfie. Oops. Didn't mean to throw that rock. I want to pick that back up. You're on day 650 in your stalker run. Nice. Yeah, the weather is better in Loper. Definitely more wolves. That's why they call it stalker. I think your fatigue goes up quicker too. Like if you're just walking in stalker, I think it's 2 arrows down, whereas right now I'm only 1 arrow down on my fatigue meter. There's a couple things on the stalker that's more difficult than the Loper, but in general, Loper is by far the hardest. Alright, it's noon. Wonder what the temperature is. Feels like -4. So it's not too bad. I mean, it's bad enough already because I'm freezing cold. Now, hopefully I can get into this train car and build a bit of a fire. Warm up a little bit, warm up some more tea. Definitely harder in here. for sure. I tried the misery setting, which is the hardest, and that was not my jam. They came out with that with this newest update, and it was too much for me. I don't even think I made it to the first condition setting. You spend so many days in there, and then it lowers your condition. So, yeah, I didn't even make it to the first one of those. All right, let's get this fuel going here. Yeah. All right. Feels like -1, so I'm about to. There we go. And cook up a couple more of these teas. Drop that and drop that. All right, I'm just gonna wait here for a minute. Let me pass some time here. There we go. Drink that and pick this one up. I agree. Misery is definitely not the way to go. All right. Heading back out. Make a little ways. Oop, pick up that steel. Why not? I can use it to make some hooks. Maybe do a little bit of fishing in Mystery Lake. Yeah, so if a wolf jumps you when you have a torch on, it's usually because you went too close to him. Either that or you waited too long to pull out your weapon. If you're not over encumbered and you're kind of running at a downward slope or level, you can run at them and scare them away, but it's risky because if you're not running quite fast enough, then you will not scare them. I've had that happen a couple times. Usually if you pull out a rock, you know, like if I pull out a rock like that and then aim at the wolf, it usually scares them away. And then I always throw it when I try to pick up the torch again. And if you're really lucky, if you don't have a torch and you hit the wolf as it's running at you with the stone, you can scare them away then too. I just started a gameplay and I spawned in Black Rock and I had no matches, so I couldn't make a torch. All I had were a couple stones and a wolf was charging me and I chucked a rock at it and it just skimmed right off of his ear and that scared him away, and I was very lucky. I didn't last too much longer than that, but it was still pretty fun, pretty interesting situation. And now I am entirely fatigued, not being able to sprint anymore. So we're just going to be walking like this for the rest of the time. I should have made some coffee. I think I have coffee. I wonder if there's a maple sapling up there too. There might be. Sometimes there is. Sometimes. But I'm not going to go for it because I already have one. I'm almost back to where I need to be. Completely tired. I ran too much. Let's get a new torch out. Yep, look how slow I'm moving right now. This is going to take me forever. You know what? I'm gonna build a fire right here. Oh, it's too windy. Crap. Alright. Yeah, so much for that plan. I'm gonna try to build a fire so I could cook up some coffee, get a little bit of fatigue back. Maybe if I get a little bit closer to this wall here, I could get a block, a wind block. And put the fire right there. Last stick. See what happens.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
Nope.
Wait, that didn't work.
Coffee. I have any... I have no sticks here. Shoot. Perfect. That worked. A little bit of fatigue back. A little bit of my stamina.
Wonder if I can drop any of this here.
And there might be a wolf on this railroad track going back to the cabin. Have you ever played the Wintermute storyline, Shane? It's pretty neat if you haven't. First 4 episodes are out. 5th one's coming soon. Now that Hinterland has finished the survival game, they're devoting most of their resources to the 5th episode. It's supposed to be amazing. Do I play any other games? This is pretty much the only game you play. I do have a series of Stardew Valley. I do 5-minute videos, you know, pretty much each day. I'm on the halfway through summer of the first year right now. I do play a few other games, but these are the 2 that I put on my YouTube channel. I started playing Aloft also, but I have not figured out quite how I'm going to incorporate that into my channel. It's a pretty neat game. It's a bunch of floating islands. You have to build a glider so you can go in between them. It's a, you know, crafting survival type game. It's pretty interesting. You know, if you have the time for it, it'd be worth it, I think. But yeah, Stardew Valley and The Long Dark are the two that I devote most of my time to. I really just want to get back to this cabin, the Mystery Lake office, camp office. Yeah, Winter Mute's not for you. Well, you know, it's not for everybody, I guess. Yeah, that's true. I liked the story though; it was pretty good. You know, fighting the prisoners and everything, and finding all the people in the crash. So it has a lot of the same elements here, but it has a few other ones as well. Is that a moose? I think that's a moose. I see the sign. I'm pretty sure that's a moose right there. I think it was too big to be a wolf. Yep, that's the moose. I'll make sure I do not get anywhere near him. I do not need broken ribs right now. I'm at half health. You've been looking for something else, but I really like survival games. Yeah. Yeah, I will admit that survival games are hard to get one that actually hits, you know? Like most of the time they're strictly about survival and, you know, or crafting, I mean, where survival is kind of more of a secondary thing, not so much of a hard point on those games. All right. We made it back. Made it back to the camp office. All right, let's offload some of this stuff. Drop all of these. Drop that. Let's hide that before I try to light it. All those in there. All those. So that is 10 arrows I can make with those crow feathers. I'm going to hang on to those. What else do I got? Nah, I'm not going to put those in there. Put that in there just to get rid of it. That in there. Alright, I'm going to drop all those. Drop all those. And drop all those. I have no idea where to find a camera, so let me refuel this. And while I'm here, no, I want to start crafting all of those. I probably should have gone to bed before I did that, huh? And crafting 3 hooks. And some guts over here. Let's make some line. All right. And now I'm going to go to bed. Should have a herbal tea to help me regain some more of my health. The Loft is it on Xbox? I'm not sure. I have an Xbox, but I don't play it at all, really. All right, let's eat as much of this as I can. Eat the food that's going to spoil first. And there's my herbal tea. Oh, man. I don't have enough. I don't have enough water, huh? Well, let's drink another one of these then. There we go. That'll be perfect. Go to bed for 10 hours. Let's see how much health I've gained. Not too bad. Not too bad. What do I have for... I have that. Alright. I'm gonna drink the burdock tea. Go to sleep for another 3 hours. Sounds like there's a blizzard going on outside. So I'm gonna stick in here. Use this to get some tinder. You're 53 years old, raised on shooters, but now you prefer a more chill experience. I'm 41, and yeah, I remember playing Dune on the computer. That was the best game ever, in my opinion. So I'm right there with you, man. A lot of times it's it's nice to have just a chill, relaxing gameplay, you know? Let me come down here, grab this jerry can. I don't think there's any chance I'm going to be able to light that fur log on fire. And I need to do that to cook up some water. There we go. Put another one of these on. And let's craft 3 of these fishing tackles. $23 and $21. Ooh. That is exactly what I did with the forage. I did not pay attention to the time on there, and it went out. Luckily, I was able to get it up and going again. A very limited amount of coal. And here's the cougar. Yep. So I'm 2 weeks in now, huh? 74% on that. All of this is expired. Let's eat these 3 potatoes. Got the cougar way up there. Hopefully he'll just stay up there and I won't have to bother him, you know? get this water. Peel the rest of these torches off. All right, a little bit of inventory management. Scrap all these expired torches. And then the smaller ones as well. If it's less than 20%, it's going bye-bye. Yeah, so I should have 7 or 8 torches left, I think. 7 torches left. Let's just transfer all of them. Yeah, I don't really feel like making the arrows just yet. You get some weird therapy from this game. You quit drinking and smoking over a year ago, and this is what you do now instead. Nice, man. I'm glad to hear that. All right. Okay. I got the hacksaw to break into the stuff at the top of the mountain. Probably don't need the tools, so I'm going to drop those. I got the cooking pot and the skillet. I'm not going to read, so I'm going to drop these guys. Okay, I think that's should be about it. Got 12 sticks, which isn't quite enough, but, you know. And let me drop these, let me drop these off. And drop that. All right, 14% cured and 89% cured. All right. You know, let me... Deer pants, I need 3. Deer boots, I need 2, but I need 4 guts, and I don't have the 4 guts. I used 2 of them already. All right, I'm going to head up to the Timberwolf Mountain, and I'm going to climb that summit. I'm going to go the easy way through here. Is that where you're heading next, the summit? Yes, I am. I might even head into Ash Canyon to get the technical backpack, maybe. I don't know, that's a bit of a long hike, but I want to get up to the summit before it gets too cold. I think day 50 is when the weather maxes out on Interloper. So being, you know, about day 15 right now, it should be a pretty easy summit. The last time I was here, literally my last playthrough, I left the mountain, I left the camp office, And I went into Pleasant Valley, and I ran into the cougar in Pleasant Valley. I don't want to do that again. So when I get to Pleasant Valley, I'm going to turn left. I'm not going to turn right. Because if I turn right, I'm going to hit it, run into that cougar again. I've heard it's easier to summit in the beginning of the game. But, you know, I'm not really as prepared as I could be. My clothing is not as much as it should be. But that's why I'm going to the summit, is to try to get better clothing. Oh, maple saplings right here. Sweet. Yeah, the cougar is at Pensive Pond. I did not know that the first time round. The last time round, I should say. I did not know that. I was unsure. I thought the cougar was only going to be in Mystery Lake, so I just decided to leave Mystery to, you know, hopefully have him despawn, but apparently that's not a thing. Drop both of these. Yeah. Pretty much they stick around in their territory. So if I don't go to the top left corner of this map, he won't bother me. And if I don't go to Pensive Pond, that one won't bother me either. The problem is I didn't know that the first time round. Alright. So I have 2 maple saplings in that cabin, in that cave right there. I could probably use that for the travois. And then I have 1 more in the camp office that I can use for my bow. I think that's how it goes. I could have those recipes not quite in my head. I think there's only 1. Is it only one maple sapling required for a bow, or is it 2? I don't remember. I'm going to be getting a little bit cold before I get to the dam, to the Carter Hydro Dam. That'll be alright. Pick up some twigs along the way. Yeah, I think I... Did I? No, no, this is right. Yep. Shouldn't bother me at the fishing hut. I went to the fishing hut, and that's when I first started hearing him. And I don't remember exactly which way I went, but I went right to him. Like, literally beeline straight for where the cougar was. And he attacked me twice and killed me. Oh, there's a body. And any crow feathers here? None, huh? Oh, there's one. Alright, so that's 33 crow feathers I have now. Just in case there's some wolves over here. Trying to hurry up a little bit because it's cold. No wolves, right? No wolves. Alright. Good. Hear them all around there, but stay out of the hills unless you approach him. My goal right now is to not get anywhere near him. I tried taking him on in a prior run, and it did not work. Oh, there's a body over here. Let's see what he's got on him. Nothing. You can draw them to the fishing hut and pop them out from there? Ooh. I'm not good at drawing animals. Maybe after I get my bow, I'll give that a try. Now, I think... I was going to say, I think I've been through here, but apparently I have not. I'm not sure I want to loot this whole place either. I just want to pass right through. Uh, 78, so let's wear that. And we'll drop that. Alright, yeah. I'm just gonna run through here. Not really that interested in any of the loot. I'll take a more detailed look on my way back. It's still noon, so I want to take advantage of the daylight. Did just get done battling cabin fever. Did that in Broken Railroad before I left. Of course, I'm going to look in this guy. And I'm just going to pass some time right here, try to gain a little bit more temperature on me. Hopefully it gets a little bit warmer outside. It's not too cold, but could be warmer. And another bedroll. At 79% on that one. And the one I have is 75. They're close enough to the same. I don't hear any wolves down there. But I'm also going to take this little shortcut right here. There are the crows. What do we got? A bull elk. You got any crow feathers? None, huh? Alright. Let's hope maybe there might be a little cheating way down there. Nope. Because, you know, you gotta pick up the cattails, right? It's free food. pretty low on burning material, so I feel like I'm gonna venture off course here, see if I can find any coal up in this cave. Any coal or any firewood. I got plenty of sticks, but I really need some coal. Yeah, not much in here, huh? I'm gonna light this fire. And I'm gonna cook up some coffee. It'll help me get all the way up to the mountain, to Timberwolf.
Come on, little fire.
Pleasant Valley is a long map to walk through.
Oh, yeah.
Let's cook up some bannock, actually. And I'll cook the coffee in here. Drink a little bit of water. 14 minutes left on there. Let's get that up to an hour. A little over an hour. And that's all the coffee I have, huh? Alright, let's cook the soup then. Cook some more bannock. Yeah, cook up the tea. Might as well, right? And cook the beans.
Surrounded by snow. Nothing to drink.
8 minutes and 2 minutes. Drink that. A little warm me up bonus. And then finish off with that. All right. Finish my way through a winding river here. Like I said, might as well stop and grab the free food. I don't need the cattails anymore. What do I think of Stardew Valley? I love it. It is an awesome, cozy game. It's a lot of fun just, planting the crops, making sure they're watered. You get the sprinklers and everything to do all of your automation on the farm. It's a wonderful game. It scales pretty nicely. You know, with your increased your skills, proficiencies, and whatnot. It's a single developer game. It was made by a guy named Concerned Ape. So there's no studio behind it. I think he released it in 2016, I think, but the early release was a lot sooner than that. Um, he's coming out with another game called Haunted Chocolatier. I don't know when that's coming out though, but it'll have some elements of Stardew with a little bit more combat. You know, it's a good game. You know, if you like cozy games, you know, stress-free games, give it a try. It is very chill. There are mines that have monsters in them, but other than that, it's not a game that's, you know, hard in any means. As long as you keep an eye on your energy meter, because if you pass out, then, you know, that's pretty much the equivalent of death in that game. There's, you know, 20 or 30 townsfolk that you can talk to, get to know. You know, you give them gifts, and then you can marry one of them. There's a whole bunch of mods for it. Multiple spouse mods. There's an expanded mod. That's the one I'm playing. It adds a couple extra places to the map, makes it a little bit bigger, and there's an extra dozen or so NPCs that brings into as well. There's another mod like that. It's called Ridgeside Village, and that adds a tremendous amount of more content to it. There's a whole nother town that you can go to with probably 30 or 40 extra NPCs. Yeah, if you like, you know, cozy games, Stardew Valley might be right up your alley. Get a little bit of coal in this cavern here. Get up to the top here. Ooh, 3 pieces right here. Boom, boom, and boom. Excellent. Have I ever tried Medieval Dynasty? I have not. No, I have not heard of it. No. You saying it's kind of chill? That's good. I might give it a go then. This is definitely, out of most of the games that I play, this one is not the chillest. The least chill, if you will. All right. Pleasant Valley, here we are. And there you are, Cougar. I'm gonna make my way to the radio tower, though. And stop in there real quick. There's usually some firewood outside of that. And, you know, I might consider rebuilding the tower while I'm there. That needs to be done. Make sure I don't go that way. It's about to turn to nightfall. maybe I'll think about sleeping here. Maybe not. I should sleep down in the home, in the farm. I got some good weather on me. I got to utilize it. There's a wolf over there on my far left. I think I've ran into a bear up here once. Hopefully I won't run into him again. There's a sapling up there. Looks like a birch sapling. Yep. The bear does hang out up here. I don't think he's here, though. I think I might have missed him. I don't see him. 2 torches left. All right, let's see what I can find in here. Do a little quick looting. Some dog food, that's good. Some coffee, can use that. Some more food, that's good. Ooh, flare. Oh, that'll always be helpful. Pair of boots, that's good. And another heavy hammer. I don't need 2 of those. I live in the Hudson Valley of New York. You know, a little ways away from Columbus. And I think this is going to be my last torch. I missed it, didn't I? Yep. Totally missed it. Got this book, though. That'll help me make more. Alright, I think I got pretty much everything out of here. That's 87 on that one. Alright. Your daughter lives in Buffalo. I am a huge Buffalo Bills fan. So I've been to that side of the state quite often. My sister lives out by the Finger Lakes. It's a nice pit stop on the way, if you know what I mean. Your son-in-law plays for the Bills. Oh. Oh man, who dat? I've been a Bills fan ever since I can remember. I watched the Super Bowls back in the early 90s. I remember crying with my father when Was it Scott Norwood missed that? Field goal, wide right. That was a long time ago. Dwayne Carter, huh? All right.
Come on, little fella.
Number 90. That's awesome, man. I mean, he's a Buffalo Bill, so obviously it's good. All right, I'm going to let this temperature come up a little bit before I start pulling off any torches. And let me see, what can I... Let me cook that. They got married a couple weeks. Oh, they're getting married in a couple weeks. Nice. Congratulations to them. Been dating since they were 13. That's awesome, man. That's a great story. Young love. It's amazing. Hopefully I should be able to get 4 more torches out of here. Or 2 more torches, rather. Here we go. There he is. All right. Did not find a rope, so I can't go down that way. I want to make sure I don't drop down into a bear that's on the bottom of this. Right there's the homestead that I'm going to. I'm gonna spend the night in there. All right, I think I'm doing pretty good here. It's about 9 o'clock my time in real life. So I think when I get to that home, I think I'm gonna call it at that point. I get in there, get some sleep, maybe loot the place, and then get some sleep. Right, still going the right way. There it is. I got food. I need some better clothing. Might be able to find some clothing in that at home. Thanks, man. It's pretty cool. A lot of Bills defense is coming to the wedding, and they're getting married near Columbus. Nice. I would expect a lot of the Bills to be there, you know, supporting a teammate. That's something you know, something a lot of guys would do, actually. Not just the Bills, but a lot of guys would do that. Is there anything back here? Nope, I guess not. Take a quick look in here. Snake my way up through here. The torch trick that I keep doing, are you talking about lighting a torch off of another torch or picking the torch off the ground? 'Cause if your torch is on the ground, on the computer, if I left click it, I can move it around. And I can put it right there. That way I can light the new torch before the old torch is too bad, and I don't have to wait for it to ruin before I pick it back up. Oh, crap. Yeah, it saves a little bit of time. You know, maybe, I guess. I'm not sure what the button is on Xbox. But if you're any item that you place on the or you drop on the ground and then you can replace it elsewhere. So like if I drop this and then I left click on it, I can move it to a different spot. I'm sorry, right click, but yeah, that's on the computer. I used to play this on the Xbox a couple years ago, and I think it was one of the triggers, maybe? Right trigger, left trigger, maybe? Or a bumper? I don't remember offhand. Alright, no wolves outside here. That's good. It's just getting dark. Alright, so I want to loot everything that I can here. Don't need a second one of those. It's the left trigger button? Yeah. I don't remember. I'm sure I saw someone else do it, another YouTuber do that. Might have been my usual me. He used to play a lot of this game. I think he still does. Yeah, I'm not taking credit for that. I don't think I did it. I definitely didn't do it first. More coffee, that's good. No hat there, huh? Book, that'll be useful. Oh, some syrup. I don't want to get too many books, but that should be enough. Oh, you've never seen him do that before? Maybe it was someone else then. I gotta start eating some food here to preserve my thing. Rancid cooked venison. I'm gonna eat it, because, you know, why not? I got food poisoning. That's okay. That's okay. I can cure that tonight. I gotta sleep here anyways. Full up on food now. And drink that for the food poisoning. I think I've looked pretty much everywhere down here. Let's check these 4 rooms upstairs now. Could really use another jacket. There's another sewing primer. Got 2 of them in Mystery Lake already. Could use some more underwear. Some thermal bottoms, if you will. There's the jacket. Another piece of scrap metal. That shirt's no good to me. And some more film. One of these days I gotta find a camera. I have yet to find a camera. Alright. I have not looked in the basement. I probably won't. I'm gonna stay up here. I'm gonna go to bed. First, I'm gonna swap out all my clothing. It's 89 and 82. Yes, I mean, that's about the same as what I got on. The -7, huh? Versus the -3. You get extra armor. I'm gonna wear those. The camera's in Sundered Pass. Well, see, that's why I've never found it, because I've never been there before. Or I have been there, but not since the thing came on. It's at the weather station. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that spot. Maybe I haven't been to Sundered Pass. Alright. Food poisoning. I took that, so I need to recover in 10 hours. Let me just cook up the rest, eat up the rest of this food. Drink that. And let's go to bed for... Let's do 9 hours. Almost done with that. Oh, yeah. That'll get me fully rested and ready to go. And you know what? Before I leave here, I'm going to loot the basement. Because if I stop, I'm not going to remember to do that tomorrow. The next time. Hey, subscribe. Thank you very much, Shane. I do appreciate that. It's been a couple months since I started the channel, and, you know, every little subscription helps, so I appreciate you sticking with me here, too, man. Thanks for the conversation. It, you know, helps the stream go by quicker, for sure. A bunch of carrots there. Nothing on the workbench. Pick up that fill of the water. Check in here for any last bits of clothing. That will not come in handy, but whatever. There used to be a guaranteed set of matches down here, but apparently that got changed. Alright, I'm heading out of here. And when I go back in the front door, that will be an autosave. Close that off. And of course, it's blizzarding. You're welcome. You try to watch your long dark streams when I can. Well, I definitely appreciate that. 100%, without question. I don't really have a set schedule for streaming, but, you know, if you do ever stop me, I'd love to have you on, man. All right. Well, I am going to call this good for the day. I'm a part way to Timberwolf Mountain, probably about halfway through Pleasant Valley. And yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping on, and you know, anyone that watches this in the future, feel free to hit a like on it. And have a good night. Thank you all very much.